This week we return with less of a focus on Ai and drawn out fights to save any one specific egg. Instead, we turn our attention to Neiru and their group dynamics as a whole. Rika also hits us with some truth that I mentioned back during episode 2, so if you're excited for more Wonder Egg Priority and want to stay up to date with the discussion, make sure you subscribe. Liking would also help. We open in a much darker location, this time on a bridge in Neiru's dream world that is strikingly familiar and unsettling like some of the Idwells from last year's Id Invaded. We don't learn much about the eggs that she's trying to save besides that most of them kinda seem like assholes Neiru doesn't want to be dealing with. Unlike Ai, who forms friendships with each egg and will borrow their weapons to better protect them, Neiru seems to be very unattached from whoever she happens to be saving each night. They're less like potential friends and more like a mandatory part of her job. After saving the first egg of the episode, Neiru joins with Rika and Momo to go hang out with Ai, which when compared to the first couple episodes is a really touching difference from where Ai was originally. But because Ai is still a dork, she has no idea what to do when her friends show up, so she asks them if they're lost, and then after accepting a gift just kinda stands there and stares at them.
Get out of my house!
Ai's mom starts fangirling about how popular her daughter has become. She then notices Momo as Mr. Sawaki's niece, and as every parent knows, mentioning how your kid has no friends is perfectly normal and totally not embarrassing at all.
Ugh, can you shut up? I'm trying to make a TikTok.
The girls start gossiping about Koido doing
Devil's Tango.
with Momo's uncle, because of course she would just love to sit around and hear about that. But nah, Mr. Sawaki? What? The dude that's always alone with Koido and was touching her all the time? What? There's no way. Like, this dude has holy shit, this dude has 28 cats! Damn, maybe he really doesn't have a woman in his life. We cut away from the girls laughing and having fun to See No Evils laughing while chasing Neiru and some lady obsessed with her beauty. You can't see her eyes, so she's 100% evil, and Neiru slaps her away. She starts fighting the hair demons that egg seems completely disinterested in for some reason. Neiru finds out that the demon is in the egg's hair, which is kind of a big deal. The demons can have parts of themselves fighting you, while their real body is in the person you have to protect. Damn. Back with their friends, they all head out to buy some eggs, and somehow convince the doll men to let them play in the arcade first. Momo opens up to the group about who she's trying to save, and that real shit wasn't what Rika was interested in tonight, so they start to jam out in the arcade instead. After getting the eggs, the girls hang out a little bit longer, and now the doll men think they've spoiled them. Here, Rika somewhat makes my earlier point about bringing back people and the ethics around it. To avoid completely repeating myself, I'll keep it short. So I wanted to spark a discussion around if forcefully bringing back the dead without their consent after suicide was an ethical choice. Rika makes the same point, but also brings up that they are actively risking their lives for something that they shouldn't be responsible for. Even ignoring that they're all pretty young, the idea of fighting off demons to save someone who took their own life is a sketchy one. This might hit especially hard for Rika as her body shaming is directly related to what killed Shimi, compared to Ai and Neiru's situations. All four girls are sort of on a spectrum of responsibility, which can sort of influence how they feel about Rika's point. On one end, Rika actively and publicly humiliated Shimi, which eventually led to her death. Neiru is on the other end. Her sister violently stabbed her and then jumped off a bridge, and from what Neiru is currently telling us, she's only fighting to relieve the pain in her back. So of course Neiru wouldn't sympathize with Rika's perspective. Ai and Momo are sort of in the middle. They were aware of some aspects of their friends' situations, but I don't think were as actively involved as Rika was. The girls stay friends at the end of the episode, and with her being introduced first, I'm somewhat surprised it took this long to learn anything about Neiru, but that also fits with her character pretty well. Overall, this was a slower episode, but I like that my dilemma was brought up by Rika, and I'm excited for what else this show throws at us.
Oh, didn't see you there. It's me, Derek Snow. I'm a voice actor extraordinaire. Thanks for watching this video, and be sure to check out more Why I Love and 1 AM anime videos. See you later.
Ooh.